empowering our light work. Today, the company of heaven is reminding us through myriad activities of light that were orchestrated by awakening humanity and the beings of light who have been assisting the evolutions of Earth for millennia. Mother Earth at long last reached a frequency of vibration that allowed our solar system to God victoriously ascend into the full embrace of our grand central sun. In order for us to grasp the magnitude of just what this means, our Father, Mother God are revealing that since our fall from grace into the abyss of separation and duality which took place eons ago, the sons and daughters of God evolving on Earth have been struggling lifetime after lifetime to raise our energy, vibration and consciousness effectively enough for Mother Earth to catch up with the rest of our solar system. At long last, this seemingly miraculous event has happened and changed the course of history for humanity, the elemental kingdom and Mother Earth. Now as we progress, we are beginning to experience the full impact of the life-transforming frequencies of light from our grand central sun and the beings of light who are assisting us from that system of worlds. These highly evolved sons and daughters of God were previously far above our vibrational reach. Now, however, they are standing in readiness, waiting the invitation to assist us in previously unknown ways that will elevate our creativity and teach us how to envision the exquisite patterns of perfection we are destined to co-create for the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar New Earth. These are patterns that at this moment are truly beyond our ability to conceive of through our physical senses, our finite minds, or even our wildest imaginations. Fortunately, the beings of light from our grand central sun have told us that this is a temporary situation. In fact, they have said the greatest need of the hour for humanity is for our I Am presence to enhance our creative faculties of thought and feeling by elevating our senses of sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, and intuition to brand new levels. Only then will we be able to actually perceive the awesome patterns of perfection for the fifth-dimensional crystalline solar New Earth. This is a necessary part of our ascension process in order for us to be able to co-create these patterns tangibly in the world of form. To help us comprehend this truth, the beings of light are reminding us of our purpose and reason for being embodied on Earth at this time. In the beginning, as sons and daughters of God, our purpose and reason for embodying on Earth was for each of us to learn how to use our free will and our creative faculties of thought and feeling to become co-creators with our Father, Mother God. The original divine plan was for us to observe through the multi-dimensional awareness of our I Am presence all of the patterns of perfection reverberating within the causal body of God. Then, through our individual perceptions and our unique ways of thinking and feeling, we were to co-create new patterns of perfection using our creative faculties in previously unknown ways, thus expanding the borders of the kingdom of heaven on earth. At a point in our evolutionary process, we made the fateful decision to begin experimenting with our thoughts and feelings in ways that were not based in love. The resulting miscreations eventually caused the horrific event we now refer to as our fall from grace. When this occurred, humanity lost the ability to perceive the patterns of perfection in the causal body of God. We also lost the ability to hear the intuitive inner guidance from our I Am presence. This tragic situation prevented us from remembering that our destiny is to become co-creators with our godparents. Consequently, over eons of time, humanity's miscreations, which have been both inadvertently and deliberately created through our negative thoughts and feelings, have caused unbearable pain and suffering for humanity, the elemental kingdom, and Mother Earth. The reason the company of heaven is reminding us of this information now is because over the past several decades the light work of awakening humanity has step by step resulted in gradually reversing the adverse effects of our fall from grace. Through the monumental shifts of energy, vibration, and consciousness that have been accomplished through the divine intervention of humanity's I Am presences, Our Father, Mother God, and the company of heaven, and every person's I am presence is now able to fully integrate into his or her heart flame once again. This life-transforming event is allowing our I am presence to tangibly communicate with us intuitively. In order to experience this inner guidance, all we have to do is take the time to go within to the divinity of our heart flame and to ask our I am presence for guidance. Then, of course, we need to take the time to listen to that inner guidance. Everyday people around the world are awakening to this profound truth. Literally hundreds of millions of people are becoming aware that their I am presence and the beings of light in the realms of illumined truth are standing in readiness awaiting our invitation for them to assist us with the next phase of our divine plans. Even though we are unique and no two people have volunteered for the exact same divine plan, we have all volunteered for a divine plan that will, in one way or another, help us to move forward in the light and to make progress on our journey home to the heart of our Father, Mother God. The company of heaven is now revealing that collectively, since the birth of this decade 2020 to 2030, Awakening Humanity's light work in collaboration with the company of heaven has raised the frequency of vibration for Mother Earth and all life evolving upon her to the highest level we have ever experienced. This has allowed our planet to catch up with the rest of our solar system for the very first time since our fall from grace. What our Father, Mother God, and the beings of light from our grand central sun want us to realize is that the new patterns of perfection they are ready to help us co-create pulsate with frequencies of light. Images, patterns, colors, fragrances, musical tones, potential experiences, and possibilities far beyond anything we have ever perceived or even imagined. Since our creative faculties consist of our thoughts and feelings, without the ability to even imagine these higher expressions of life, it will be impossible for us to co-create them without raising our consciousness and our senses. For that very reason, our Father, Mother God, and the beings of light from our grand central sun are revealing that the greatest need of the hour for humanity's progress is for the I am presence of each and every one of us to raise our creative abilities and our physical senses to a fifth-dimensional level of consciousness. We are being assured that with our sincere heart, call our I am presence, and the company of heaven will guide us step by step through myriad activities of light that will help us to gently activate and elevate our fifth-dimensional creative abilities and our fifth-dimensional senses of sight, sound, smell, touch, taste, and intuition. Dear one, this week contemplate this information and see how you can most effectively apply this information to enhance your light work. Ask your I am presence and the beings of light who are now assisting us from our grand central sun for guidance. Then, listen and pay attention. You will be amazed at the intuitive ideas that begin to pop into your conscious mind and awareness. God bless you. I look forward to being with you next week, exploring intimacy, a conversation on sex. Nowadays, we are so focused on the external that we do not pay as much attention to our physical and mental well-being from the inside out. Sure, more and more people spend time at the gym building their bodies, but how much do they actually know about how this operates beyond the muscular and skeletal functions? More importantly, how much do they know about their sexuality in relation to their body, mind, and spirit? Society has placed a stigma around discussions of sexuality. Although we think of ourselves as liberated, most tend to remain blind to the reality of what healthy uninhibited sexuality actually means, with people either using this argument to run towards self-abuse as an ideology of false rebellion or towards dogmatic attitudes which in their rigidity constrain one's sexuality rather than nurture it. It's time to break free from these constraints and recognize the importance of embracing sexual wellness as an integral part of our lives. Sexual wellness is about more than just physical pleasure. It encompasses a broad range of factors that contribute to our overall satisfaction and happiness. By breaking down the societal barriers and stigmas surrounding sexuality, we can create a safe and open space for discussions, education, and self-exploration. Just as exercise and healthy eating benefit our physical well-being, nurturing our sexual wellness positively impacts our mental and emotional health. Engaging in activities that promote sexual wellness, such as self-acceptance, exploring desires, and fostering intimacy, can enhance self-confidence, reduce stress, and improve overall happiness. Sexual wellness goes hand in hand with healthy relationships. Open and honest communication about desires, boundaries, and consent fosters trust, connection, and intimacy. By embracing sexual wellness, we empower ourselves and our partners to prioritize pleasure, intimacy, and fulfillment in our relationships. Unlike other spiritual paths, Tantra incorporates how to use and live our sexual energy consciously in a loving way and helps us use that energy for our evolution. Apart from improving our health, relationships, and sex life, let's start with the basics, shall we? Although masculine and feminine, there is a polarity in both men and women. Women have a more yin, softer tendency, but also hold yang strength. Women are the cradle, from which pure energy emanates, while males are the transformative creative by which the energy will take shape. Psychologically, some men or women tend to be more in the brain's right hemisphere, more emotional and abstract, or the left hemisphere, which is more analytical. Hormonally, we are also very different, and that affects us physically and emotionally. Due to our rejection of the twisted patterns of a past, such as machismo and submission, we have gone to the other end of the pendulum. Many women have become extremely masculine, controlling, and demeaning, and many men extremely feminine, lacking direction for their innate strength. Nowadays, one of the things that must be worked on is balance. For example, women could learn that to be their own person doesn't mean they have to mentally castrate themselves from their femininity. Or on the other extreme, some women could learn the difference between embracing one's sexuality and sexuality versus abusing their bodies, minds, and spirits. Women can learn to manage to be independent and powerful but from their femininity and not imitate men. As females, we could spend more time healing the wounds of the past in order to live with more trust on life and in men. Trusting in love and living with an open heart. Not afraid to show our vulnerabilities nor hide our strength. Living with a conscious, spiritual tantric sexuality helps in this process. The way we've been taught about sexuality is pretty null. As a tantric, when I look around, I can see that our societies haven't taught us much of anything about sexuality. Today, the only thing they teach us is how to put a condom on or not get pregnant, hygienic or social things. But nothing about love or pleasure. Where do they teach how to make love? Nowhere. They teach us 1,000 things, but they don't teach us the most important thing, what matters most to us, which is how to truly love our partners, how to have good relationships genuinely. No masks or so-called roles of good wives or husbands, but people coming together from the core of their heart chakra, with love, with freedom, with pleasure, yet with respect for ourselves. We need to learn the difference between letting someone in the psychological core of our inner sanctum, and only when rapport has been developing and a genuine connection felt, can we open, if we so wish, our physical inner sanctum. Having sex is easy. It's an action that the animal in us knows pretty well how to do. One does not need a PhD for it. With that said, don't hear me say that having sex is bad or should be restricted. Not at all. I am simply asserting the fact that having basic or mediocre sex is easy. Making love truly is not easy. It requires flowing skills that go beyond just the physical. To even consider starting to develop those skills, you have to be very open to a new way of looking at sexuality and relationships. You have to be willing to confront yourself, to reach your lover without even touching him/her first. That is a skill. I am not talking about obsession or empty desire. I am talking about the skill to see the heart and the secrets carried in the mind of the other, without judgment and without even saying a single word on the topic. That is connected attraction, which is very different than empty attraction or obsession. Connected attraction can happen quickly if you have evolved to know how to truly love and see yourself as you are, light and dark, in confronting yourself as you are. As Jungian psychology, esotericism, or Tantra would say, you are gifted the ability to see others and these others can feel it. That is what makes you unforgettable and where the beginning of making love starts. It is not a physiological act yet, but a beautiful dance of minds and souls, not immature head games. A dance of genuine empathy for each other's wounds. A dance of mutual dreams, desires, and love. Connection. But for that, you must open to your own wounds and darkness. Then your light will come, opening your heart to others genuinely. Maybe unconventional for some, but genuine. There is a great emptiness when no one teaches us any of what I just mentioned. If we add to that the conditioning of the past that we normally have, such as the fears learned from our parents, the influence of religions with repressive messages about sexuality, sexual abuse, and our wounds with the love relationships of the past, all of this creates a backpack that does not leave us be happy and enjoy our sexual lives without inhibitions, yet with the honoring of the core of ourselves. That is poetic tantric passion. That is the beginning of tantric sexuality. Remember that sexual energy is not good nor bad. Like all energy, it is neutral. If you use your sexual energy without conscience, you hurt yourself and others. If you use it consciously, you can heal your life and that of your partner or partners. Ultimately, it's always a matter of conscience, or what in Tantra we call motivation. If your motivation is to give and receive love, then that should be your compass.